races athletes in these parts. We have still 618 to go, and now it's boiled down to basically a four-cornered fight, and between them only seconds, Phil.
Yes, 41 seconds covering the top four riders in this race, and as Seb has said, we're now into the last few days of it. It is still very much anybody's race among those four, and who knows, after the way Pasyal rode yesterday, who will come up from the back. But you know, there's another aspect of this tour now which is taking over, and that is the frustration which has crept into the 13 days of racing between the Philippine national squad and the Korean riders. Remember, the opening 2 weeks, the Koreans have done most of the winning. Now the Philippine riders are taking over the lead in most of the classifications. Yesterday they were fighting with the Koreans, and both teams have penalised time and money. There was also another surprise for Enrique Domingo. He was penalised 5 minutes on his overall time because he was seen holding onto a service car after he'd had a puncture. Well, the judges are now keeping a keen eye on this race. There could be a lot more than just the racing in competition to watch out for today.
And this is where we're taking off from. From here in Tuguegarao in Cagayan province, we're heading towards Solano in Nueva, Vizcaya, basically Carlo Ghiev country.
Very much indeed. Another long stage, the second longest of the tour, to around about 225 kilometres. There are 2 third category climbs, there's a 4th category climb. They're not very high, but they'll hurt the legs because they come towards the end of the stage today, unlike yesterday when we had a long flat road. Sprints on the way as well, and who knows, the early break always seems to work. I wonder if it will today.
We had actually stopped in Gataran yesterday, but we took a trip straight to Tuguegarao, and it's back on the road again for these weary but proud cyclists.
And this is a look at the overall classification at the start. Look at that, 25 seconds to Carlo Ghiev, 35 to Valdez, 41 to Juan Campo of Hong Kong, and then 5:49 to a previous winner in Reni Doloso. Further down, Tonton Susanto leads the Indonesian charge in 8th place, and the multi-stage winner Yi Sung Wang down there in 10th. Another interesting spectator watching the race roll out, and quite a long distance before the race arrived at the race start proper today. It's already extremely hot, and as every day on this tour, the view's absolutely stunning. Temperatures today, 38, light winds, 49% humidity. What wind there is, seems to be against the riders today, and that might have some effect on the race. But as always, as soon as the flag is pulled in, the men come out to play, and there's a charge already underway, and once more the Korean riders in evidence here, Sam. We've got 2 riders right in the front.
It's becoming a personal rivalry, this Korea-Philippines duel, as we approach a stretch of bad pavement here.
Indeed, and now we've been warned there is broken road along the route, various repairs underway. Another unlucky rider punctured on the road is Valdez here. But Valdez has a problem with his back wheel. He seems to have sorted it out himself. He's come from the front of the race, and he's getting off just as the back of the race disappears. He'll have no problem rejoining. Now, number 6 is Carlo Yasul of the Philippine national team, but sitting on his bike is number 1, the leader of the tour, his teammate Victor Espiritu. He's had a problem, and Yasul has given him his bike. Now, the problem is with his derailleur gear, and the mechanics are working to try and get that bike back to him as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, the race goes on. This is now the 23-kilometre point, and Enrique Domingo, the other Filipino national, is charging for the full 5 points to the line. He is beginning to build quite a lead in this competition out on the course. He gets over the line in 1st place, and the 2nd place taken by the Korean Han Yun-sul, and 3rd place by Loreto Mandi. This is a small breakaway, but the breakaway was engineered by Domingo Enrique for those points. Now, there's the bike ready for Victor Espiritu. He knew it was coming. He's back into the bunch, and he's on his way. Now, what he won't like to hear is that, in fact, a fine has been imposed on his team of 4,500 pesos today because they carried that spare bike on the outside of the team vehicle, and that is not allowed under international cycling rules. However, he's still in the race, and he's still in the thick of the action. Back to Yi Sung Wang here, trying to get people organised on a chase. Multi-stage winner already. Finding little help at the moment, and trouble here now for 2nd place overall. Is it going to be a day like this? Carlo Ghiev.
I talked to Carlo Ghiev at the top of the race. I told him, Carlo, this is like going home. He was hopeful that when he went home, at least he would have a better standing.
Well, we know the banners are out for him. The crowd are already shouting his name. This is very much Carlo Ghiev's country, and he wants to do a ride today. Now, the problem with the maize and the rice being dried on the highway is this, and a rider from Japan has hit the deck in no uncertain term here.
Mitsuru Nakagawa, who is currently 57th overall, down, being attended to, and he's being asked if he's all right. Not for the moment, I suppose.
No, indeed. He's taken a pretty nasty spill there, and the race, of course, heading on under the charge of the Koreans again. They were trying to get something going here. Yi-Sung Wang, 10th place overall for him at the moment. And let's go back to the crash scene, because this rider, Nakagawa, is still trying to restart here. Cyclists, you know, never want to stop cycling, and especially in a multi-day tour like this. They don't want to go home and say they didn't finish. But he's going to have a hard day today. Let's go out to the first climb of the day at 72 kilometers covered now. This is Susanto of Indonesia, being trailed by the inevitable Philippine national riders who are trying to control this race all of the time now. They've had 3 hard days of racing, but so far it's all worked out for them. They've kept their leader, Espiritu, in that leader's yellow jersey, and Espiritu just off to the right of our camera there, going with every move at the moment and looking a very solid leader of this tour. Arnold Keremit having a spin for the top here, being taken on by Han Ushul of Korea. Shul gets it, just pips Keremit on the line. Espiritu taking 2 points and defending his lead also in the San Miguel King of the Mountains competition. And this is a different Japanese rider here who's also fallen. So this is the second Japanese rider's head who has gone down. And the coach is saying, you know.
Yes, for the day. As you said, Phil, cyclists would like a complete given race in a day, but he's had quite enough for the time being.
And in fact, that means we now have 2 Japanese riders retired from the tour today. Yasuda, that was, we've just seen retired. The other rider, Nakagawa, they've both gone into the ambulance. That's very, very sad indeed. They've been not a great team in the race as far as performances go, but they've been a very willing team to try and take part in this competition. Now, they've both gone into the ambulance. That's very, very sad indeed. They've been not a great team in the race as far as performances go, but they've been a very willing team to try and take part in this competition. Now, let's get back up to the front again. Still, no real breakaway has formed yet. Plenty of attempts. As now coming up alongside the yellow jersey is Enrique Domingo, very active. Juan Campo away again after a puncture. This is a day for punctures, it seems. The road service is not the best. Well, he'll catch up, I'm sure, because he's so high up overall. A massive crowd watching the tour again today, full of surprises. We'll take a break.
Everywhere you go in the Philippines, you will see the Carabao, our beast of burden, farmer's partner on the farmlands. And there will be churches abound, especially here in northern Luzon, as we rejoin our cyclists as they take us through the 12th stage of the Marble Tour for this year.
And with the big peloton all together again, and the heads of state riding up near the front. It's been a rough day for them so far. A lot of riders have punctured, 2 Japanese riders have retired. There are warnings of more bad roads ahead. I think we're just about to reach one of those stretches there, because the peloton here is now onto a very nasty stretch of road. Now you have to remember that the Philippines has months of harsh weather during certain times of the year, and there's a race in France called Paris-Roubaix that would be pleased to have a road like this in their events, because there's no surface left and it's every man for himself.
Do cyclists make major adjustments for roads like this, Phil?
Not particularly so. The secret is you pedal a high gear and you go as fast as you can, and that's what Carlo Gibb is doing. He's a man who knows this area. He might even have known the road was in this condition. He's attacked, and immediately the race leader, Espiritu, has marked him. That's a good sign. This man is keeping an eye on the race at the front. So Espiritu now chasing down Carlo Gibb, who is turning the tourniquet just that little bit. Remember that this man is being drawn to the finish by the magnetism of the fact he is well known in this area and is something of a hero. The signs are all wishing him well. Yi-Sung Wang of Korea is not enjoying his ride over this surface as he bangs and rattles his way. His wheels he's using there aren't really suited to that type of road. Now it looks as though Espiritu will be going to yet another bad stretch, and this is reported to be about 2 kilometers long. He's got his man marked. In fact, I think he's punctured Gibb. Gibb has blown the front tyre and he's gone to the right of the road. Espiritu has seen that and will turn the pressure on. Felix Celeste goes through. He's also well up overall. And the arrival of a teammate, he's going to help Gibb. And the teammate here is Jesse Picado. So that was very, very fortuitous indeed. A quick front wheel for Gibb. He get back into the action quicker than waiting for service. As this race now becomes just a battle for survival. There's Celeste. Celeste was with the yellow jersey. He's had a puncture. The only lucky thing was that service car was right by him.
In the meantime, Victor Espiritu towing along this group over another stretch of horrendous roads.
Well, he's driving on now. He knows the whole race is in front of him. You have to look at his... And a second puncture for Guillaume. Well, what bad luck. That's the spare wheel he's just taken off a teammate. He throws it down in disgust. Now there's no sign of any help at hand. Oh, another teammate arrives. Well, I have to say that the Northern Luzon boys are paying very good attention to their race team captain here. Another spare wheel for him. I'm very surprised he's blowing out his front tyres. It's usually the back tyres that go. Anyway, Espiritu will not know what's happening to the man in second place overall in this race. He drives on this breakaway now. He's been joined by Edwin Bayuga, and the other man who's with him here is number 44, and that'll be Neil Barlis. They've got themselves a little breakaway. I should think will feel quite honoured to be in the company of the yellow jersey. This is Tonton Susanto, the leader of the Indonesian team, lying 8th overall, and making sure he at least holds the race leader in sight for the moment. You can't see the main field. Well, we can see one or two of them here, because here's now the Korean Han Yun-shul, but the riders are reported to be split up all of the way down the road because there are so many punctures. Let's get back to the three leaders here in Santiago City, and there's the gap that the three have got now, 2:30. This is a heaven-sent present for the yellow jersey.
Look at the crowd, really. This is not the finish. We used to finish this way, Phil, without any barricades.
I tell you, they must all be watching television every day now, because this is a big crowd and this is a very, very active race indeed. Here's Carlo Guillaume. He's got himself back into a very useful group of riders here, because we saw leading through Wong Campo of Hong Kong, and I think a lot of the riders here who are in the high position overall have reorganised the chase because they want the yellow jersey back. This wasn't the day the yellow jersey was expected to attack. It happened to come his way, and he's taken it. Onto the climb of Aquinas Hill here now. These three riders are still clear, and I'm not surprised that the yellow jersey is doing all of the work. Chase back. Now this is one of the riders from Northern Luzon, and it looks like Benito, Stalin Benito, he's every reason, Seb, to try and catch the leaders.
Benito is from the town just outside of the target or the main destination. Solano is from Pagabag. He's a townmate of Carlo Guillaume.
And the two of them might well get together because they are in fact teammates on the same team.
And the gentleman was saying, it's on the way down, it's on the way down, coast along.
But right now it's still on the way up for the yellow jersey. He's giving it just about everything. Remember, he's also the leader in the King of the Mountains competition. He can't wear two jerseys at once, so he wants the point at the top of the hill as well to consolidate the same competition he also won 1 year ago, along with the race itself. Plenty of spectators to help out here with the water. I would remind all you who managed to see this tour on the road, yes, pour the water on the riders, but do not throw the buckets or the cans. We've had a number of reports of riders being injured by them, so please be careful.
And some of the foreign competitors have also complained about that, now using their helmets as shields. In the meantime, back with our leaders.
And in fact, Espiritu drops to the back here now. Has left a little bit of the work to Neil Barlis, who is giving full 100% effort on the climb. This would be a great success for Barlis if he were to stay away with these two to the finish. He's not going to be caught easily. And working hard behind too is Bayuga. Now there's another bike change, obviously a small rider, judging by the size of his bicycle. Here he comes, little Carlo Yasul, the great climber. He's back on his bike, so he's had a problem as well. Help at hand and back into that chase group. Good change, that. Back to the leaders now. You can hear Pat McQuaid cheering these three riders on. The race director is a man who loves to see plenty of aggressive riding, and it reminds me of the race director of the Tour de France of the old days, Felix Leviton. He always used to go alongside the riders and congratulate them when they gave so much effort. Yi-Sung Wang beginning to work through the group again now, but not climbing anything like with the fluidity of the man in front, Victor Espiritu. Now up towards the top of the climb, it looks like there's more points here for Espiritu, a quick acceleration. He's seen the summit, he looks over his shoulder to make sure just how much effort he needs to seal the first place over the top. Not use too much of it. Look at the gap he's opened here as he accelerates away. The yellow jersey this last few days has ridden very, very well indeed. He's not looking like a man who is going to lose this race right now, is he?
No, I don't think so. You know, a lot of people didn't really realize that Victor Espiritu was such a talented and versatile cyclist. They thought it maybe just an expert over flat roads, but he has displayed great climbing ability and a whole lot more.
And he's shown another side to his character today. He's been watching for the move and he's taken it well. He's forced all of the other race favourites onto the defensive here on the climb. They've got themselves all together and they are closing on him, but how much energy are they using? There's the result of the climb. Espiritu ahead of Barles and Bayuga. They are the three men in the leading group. Now here they are. Now we're on to the final climb of the day at Rosario, and you'll note that one rider has crossed the gap now, and that is Stalin Benito. He came up on this climb just before the summit, and he's now taking on the yellow jersey for the sprint, so he's still got plenty of power in those legs as Benito sprints for the line here. And in fact, the yellow jersey, Espiritu has decided it's not worth the extra effort. He's just going to follow him and take second place over the line. So hats off to the Northern Luzon rider, Benito. He gets the maximum points, Espiritu and Barles.
Stalin, his best finish ever was 16th place 2 years ago. Just last year he finished in 18th spot. But he works excellently with his team of Malogev as we check on the situation and the gap between the leaders and the chasers. Just about 34 seconds.
It's coming down as they come up to the top of the same climb now, and it looks like Kermit won stage one, keeping the money in the Philippine pot because he goes up and takes the extra place on the climb. Now, up to the leaders. I wonder if they realise they are being caught. Oh, well, there you are. They've been caught. We're in for a great finale at the finish, and we'll take a break.
Into the final 5 kilometers of the club stage of the Marcos from 1997. And Stalin Benito, he's from here. He's feeling the want of home, while the Korean not interested in a homecoming.
Well, he saw the main chase coming up, and now he's taken flight and he's holding a lead, but this man is at it again. Yi Sung Wang, already the winner of 5 stages, is now looking for a 6th. He's come out of the lead group. He is in no man's land at the moment, but he's approaching the leader, and I wonder if Benito knows it. He's worked so hard here to stay away. He knows if he gets there, there's a huge crowd waiting to welcome him. It will be a hometown victory in effect. He knows these roads so well. This is the group both riders have left here. The yellow jersey group has regrouped. The top 8 riders overall are in this group. They have neutralized the day. A day which has been full of punctures and crashes and an attack by the yellow jersey. And now it's 131. Yi Sung Wang of Korea looking for yet another victory. If he gets this one, he will hold the outright record for stage wins, but he's got to catch the man out front. And he's caught him. We are 3.5 kilometers from the finish now, and Stalin Benito has been picked up by Yi Sung Wang, who attacks immediately. But little Benito has a big heart. He's digging deep and he's trying to grab the wheel of the Korean, a man who has a huge reputation over the last 10 days of racing here. And this time he has caught him. He's given up, Yi Sung Wang, for the moment at least. He takes a good look at the Northern Luzon rider. Back to the chase group. This chase group now is slipping away. It's nearly 2 minutes behind. But the day has been saved for those that chase down the yellow jersey of Victor Espiritu, because they're going to come in with more or less the same time gaps they had just 24 hours ago. 2 leaders now locked together. We're about 2 kilometers from the finish. Oh, we're exactly 2 kilometers from the finish. And the Korean has encouraged Benito to take the pace. Really, Benito now should say, that's it. I'm going to sit behind you and follow you to the finish. And the Philippines don't ride like that. They're quite prepared to carry the Koreans towards the line. Sharing the pace, and yes, they're not going to be caught by the riders behind now. In fact, you may have seen in their wave to the crowd, he knows everybody on the roadside. Little bit of flurry of activity here, but the big men are marking one another. You've got Juan Campo of Hong Kong being marked by the yellow jersey. Carlo Gieb is in there, 1 kilometer to go to the finish now. He's a nervous moment for both the Korean and for Benito. Benito desperately wants to win, and what a hero he would be if he did. A massive, massive crowd again welcoming the Marlborough Tour.
Just entering Rizal Avenue Street. Interestingly enough, most streets we enter into the finish are named after the national hero, Jose Rizal.
There's the very select chase group. It's not by any means the main field of the race today. That has been washed away to around about 4 minutes. This is the select group of men who have made this tour theirs over the past 2 weeks. They are now just over 2 minutes back. This is the race for first place. A prize of 25,000 pesos to win 20,000 a second. The Korean has gone, and the inexperience showed there to Benito. He wasn't paying attention. The Korean knows what to look for. He saw the hesitation, and he has gone. Only the stage win remains now for him. Benito will kick himself for that. He wasn't paying attention at the crucial time. And Yi Sung Wang, the famous victory salute is his. He now has the record number of stage victories in this tour of 6. And for second place too, and a great ride too by the young man, who's only 21 years of age rather. There's the race fixture.
Oh, they're saying hi to us. Thank you.
Well, thanks guys, and hi to the Carlo Gear. Now, 2 minutes later, and this is the race for third place. A little bonus for Juan Campo. He will close on the overall classification. He takes the third place win bonus. So he will close the gap by just a few seconds on the yellow jersey. Let's look at the stage result. Yi Sung Wang, we know him well now. 5 seconds ahead of Benito from Northern Luzon. Juan Campo gets third. Kerevic fourth. Delosa is fifth. And today, Espiritu comes home safe in the same time in 20th place there. And there's the man, a little bit disappointed, he needn't be. He took the race to everybody today. He almost made it. He'll have to do his second. The GC, Espiritu leads 25 seconds. Valdez stays there. Juan Campo comes in to 36 seconds now. And the rest of the leaderboard, familiar names now. Tonton Susanto in 8th. Yi Sung Wang climbs to 9th. 11:39 back. The yellow jersey stays for one more day. Another 8,000 pesos for Victor Espiritu. He just about gives us a smile. Overall, in the team race, Philippines are just on top now. Korea are closing back in.
In the regional competition that runs alongside the International Derby, yes, we have a new leader. It is the home team of Northern Luzon ahead of